Babylon will fall to the Medes. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. And this is Isaiah the 13th chapter. And this is right above the 17th verse. If you go to the blue letter, they have headlines now. And before you read the 17th verse, it says Babylon will fall by the Medes. This has nothing to do with the actual ancient Persians and Medes, although it was the Medo-Persian Empire that took down the ancient Babylonians. And this is what Isaiah didn't understand. He didn't understand that Babylon, the Babylon that he wrote, he scribed from seeing the vision. He wrote it down thinking that it was the ancient Babylonians being destroyed by the Medo-Persian Empire. Which actually did happen. The Medo-Persian Empire, as I said in a little while ago, the Persian Media Empire, or the Persian and the Medes, actually took down the Babylonian Empire by killing the king at that time. The old handwriting written on the wall, mini tickle, that actually happened when the king of Babylon sat with his lords and they were drinking and eating the king's food and drinking intoxicants. There was a hand that formed out of nowhere and started writing on the wall, and it said that basically your kingdom is at an end. You were found undisciplined and your kingdom is at an end. And if you go to the historical account, because this is in secular history, that he was taken out by Darius, and it was a surgical strike. They didn't have no long drawn out war. He was taken out that very night. So you got some guys out there, you got these guys in these various camps botching up the various prophetic scriptures. This has nothing to do with the ancient Medes or the ancient Babylonians. So let me read from the 17th verse, Isaiah 13 verse 17. Behold, well, see, when it comes to these prophetic breakdowns, GMS is number one, and they all have to admit to that. GMS is numero uno. Through who? Through the Most High, through Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, opening our eyes and giving us the eye salve so that we may see. So it says, behold, I will stir up the Medes. Now, if you're a scholar, biblical scholar, as a matter of fact, you know what I'm going to do? Let me try something. Commentary. So I have Bible Hub, and I put in Isaiah 13 verse 17. Let me go to a short one. If I can find a short one. Okay, this is Matthew Pohl's commentary. It said the Medes, under whom he comprehends the Persians, which the Medes were Japhetic. So this guy went off on that, who were the neighbors and confederates in this exposition. Let me read that again. The Medes, under whom he comprehends the Persians, well, the Persians and the Medes work together, who were the neighbors and confederates in this expedition. So the Medes and the Persians were together. It became like a dual kingdom, but the Persians became greater than the Medes. It said, they shall not delight in it, which is to be understood comparatively, they shall more eagerly pursue the destruction of the people than the getting of spoils. So this guy totally went off. Whereby it shall appear that they are only the executioners of my vengeance, and against them they will accept no ransom to save their lives. He totally went off. Let's see what this one says. Gill's exposition of the entire Bible. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, the Babylonians. This explains who are meant by the sanctified and mighty ones. Isaiah 13 verse 3. The Medes were a people that descended from Media, which is one of the sons of Japhet. Which they write on that. One of the sons of Japhet was just said that, Genesis 10 verse 2. As Josephus observes, under these the Persians are included, right, because you have the Medo-Persian Empire, though they are only mentioned because Cyrus was sent by Xerxes, king of the Medes, on his expedition against Babylon. So what are they talking about? They're talking about ancient Babylon, the ancient Medes, and the ancient Persians, which Isaiah the 13th chapter is not talking about that. It's talking about the new Babylon, America. And the Medes represent Russia. And was made by him general of the Medes, and acted as such under him, and the Babylonians were taken, and Belshazzar, which is the king of Babylon at that time, slain. Darius the Median took the kingdom. Daniel 5 verse 31. So that's not talking about that. Let's come back to Isaiah 13 verse 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. This is referring to the Russians. Because at that time there was no such place known as Russia. That was no man's land. That was the wilderness. But the land of the Medes, if you take out a biblical map, a map of the Bible of the ancient world, you would see the Medes is around the area right under the Caspian Sea, and east of the Caspian Sea is that mass of land which is now known today as Russia. So that was talking about Russia. So the prophet couldn't say in Russia because there was no such thing as Russia. And Russia was not a part of the beast, the seven heads. So you can read that again, 17 verse. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. In other words, if you make a deal, look, we're going to make a deal with you. We're going to give you, X amount of dollars, and it says gold and silver. They're not going to go for it. Something that Babylon or America is going to do that's going to make the Medes, aka the Russians, so mad that they don't want no money. They just want to destroy you. So keep your eyes on the news. And then ultimately, all the European allies of America will destroy America as well, shoot missiles on America. 18th verse. Their bows, the modern bows are the missiles, actually the silos, what comes out of the silos are missiles, also shall dash the young men to pieces. Yeah, because these ICBM missiles is going to destroy everything in sight. And they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. It says in Babylon. Now did Darius order the killing of Babylonian children? No. It was a surgical strike. As today you would call it an assassination. You want to take out the top leader, and then you want to put in a puppet ruler in its place, or just expand your kingdom. So Babylon, the land that is called Babylon in the ancient world, became part of the kingdom of the Medo-Persian Empire. So this 18th verse, when it speaks about their let me read it again. It says, their bows shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb, because these little babies are going to get killed. Pregnant women are going to get killed. Infants are going to get killed. Hospitals, you're going to have patients in the various hospitals in America, in Babylon, that's going to be destroyed. And it's going to take 1 hour. It said, their eyes shall not spare children. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, which is America, Babylon the Great, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when God, or the Most High, overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Was ancient Babylon taken down like Sodom and Gomorrah? No. How was Sodom and Gomorrah taken down? It was taken down by fire that came out of the heavens. So this fire that's going to destroy Babylon, the new Babylon, America, will be ICBM missiles. We almost finished. 20th verse. It shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Now wait a minute. Did not ultimately the Medo-Persian Empire, did not they expand their kingdom to Babylon? Were there people in Babylon buying and selling and living? Yes. So this is not talking about the ancient Babylon. That shows you that these so-called Christian scholars are a bunch of clowns, and they don't know the Bible. They don't know the scriptures. And by the way, the Spirit led me to do this video because I was listening to somebody break this down, and they totally botched it. I'm not even going to speak about who did it. You really don't know the person, so that's not even important. What is important is that I'm breaking it down the right way. All right? And if you go to any camp among the GMS men and you ask them a question, they're going to give you the same answer. They're going to break it down the right way. Now, if there's particular guys that are not breaking it down the right way, we're going to call a meeting on the guy. And we're going to tell him he went off. And if he said, no, I see it different, well, look, you can go start your own thing. See, that brings confusion. Reading on, it says, the 20th verse, it shall never be inhabited, neither. This is how you know it's not talking about ancient Babylon, because ancient Babylon was people dwelt, sold, purchased, got married, was given in marriage. It said, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation, meaning forever. And that's America. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, that's America. Neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. But wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures and owls. These are desert creatures that can live in the desert. And owls shall dwell there, and sad trees shall dance there. And the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant places. And her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. So if you noticed that, watched our videos recently, we've been going into a lot of doing a lot of videos of UFO sightings. Now, they did a thing on 60 Minutes where a lot of these other news stations around the world picked up on that story that was done on 60 Minutes exactly a week ago on a Sunday when I was slaving, and I heard the whole thing, man. You know, so that's one of the signs when you see the ships. Yeah, I'm thinking about Lahab. I'm not even going to say that inside joke. When you see a lot of UFO sightings, skirmishes around the world, wars and rumors of war, then you know that it's close. And this book is for us. This book is not for you Edomites, man, because you can't break it down, because the Most High didn't give you the eye salve to see the breakdowns of this book. So you can't get it. You just can't get it. What does it say in Daniel 12? Or what is that? Daniel 12 and 10. He said, the wicked shall not understand. So you can write all the commentaries that you want on the various prophetic, break them down correctly. And you're not going to look at us because you look at us as a bunch of niggas. What does a nigga know? What theological cemetery did he attend? Anyway, with that, now remember, I'm going to read the 22nd verse again, which is a faith builder. And I got to say this, which is a faith builder. The elder of GMS Chicago, which is Malcolm. They had a couple of camps get together, and they were fellowshipping, dealing with the Pentecost. And there was several other men from different camps and areas that saw the same UFO. And I believe, I know for a fact that Elder Malcolm said there had to be 1,000 of them. And they're not playing it on the news. That should be breaking news. But those brothers that saw those ships had built their faith up, So we're at the end. It said, it shall, Zechariah 5, it shall enter into the house of the thief, excuse me. So let me read this 22nd verse again, and I'm going to close it. It says, and the wild beasts of the island shall cry in their desolate houses, and dragons in their pleasant places, desert type creatures, and her time, Babylon's time, is near to come. The destruction is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. So this is the ultimate downfall of Babylon the Great. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.